bless my soul, what's wrong with me?
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony, and we're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios. We've been brought to you by Extreme Exteriors. Let's hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Are you a volunteer in your homeowner association? Maybe a residential property manager wanting to increase your industry knowledge and obtain professional credentials in property management. Are you a vendor or professional offering services to homeowners and associations or property managers? If you said yes to any one of those questions, then join the Community Association Institute. The CAI is a great organization, helping you be informed and more proficient in your homeowner association board member or property manager role. It's also a great way to network with potential clients. For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit cai-mn.com to learn more. That's cai-mn.com. The Minnesota chapter of CAI holds monthly managers' luncheons, board member education training, property manager certification training, and much more. It also produces a bi-monthly informative magazine called Minnesota Community Living. Why not join the Community Association Institute today? You can do so online at cai-mn.com and select membership.
That's a lot of stuff. And folks, that is the reason why you need to join CAI. Just mention one more time, we have another giveaway for the month of November. Another Marge Peterson Memorial Scholarship. It's a one-year membership into CAI, and all of the benefits you just heard on that commercial will be yours. All you need to do is give us a call on our hotline, 952-224-2668. First person calling in with their name, address, phone number, email address, or all of the ways that we can contact you, we will put you in contact with CAI and get that free one-year membership. And then let's, with that, get going in our story here. And, Tony, this is from California. The Arcadia City Council wants to change the city's 5 governing documents in the associations that are in that community. They just want to do that, I think, by fiat here. And here's what's happening. There's a resolution right now that would streamline the city homeowners associations and has received a final revision and is going to be soon presented to the city council for a vote. The Arcadia City Council made final modifications this last Tuesday. The resolution would consolidate the separate resolutions governing the design, the review process for the city's 5 homeowners associations. So here we have, Tony, a case where each homeowner association has their own governing documents. Part of what is stated in there is what is considered architecturally correct, what is the procedure they need to go through before they build, before they do an add-on.
Or make changes to their exterior. They're calling it the design review process here in California.
And it says here that the city wants to, in my eyes, am I looking at this wrong? Where they want to supersede those governing documents and they say, you know what, I know you've got something here, HOA, and this HOA, you've got something written a little bit different. That's confusing. Let's just have one for everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. The article says it makes for a lack of consistency among the different associations and creates confusion for the association's architectural review boards and developers. Do you think the architectural review boards are confused in their homeowners association?
Yeah, I was going to ask that same question. Is that really happening? I don't think so. How can someone be confused on another set of governing documents that they don't have in front of them?
That's right. If this is my governing documents and this is my community, that's where it applies. And I'm serving on a committee serving that community, and that's my purview right there.
Yes.
There's my scope of interest. Why would I assume that my documents should or could impact the next neighborhood over?
Yeah, for example, one of those things I think that was talked about, they gave an example a little bit later in the article, was there right now is a provision where a homeowner right now, if they're going to make a change, they need to approach their neighbors on either side and have them sign off. But the city would like to just change it to allow it so that they just have to give notice. That's a big difference.
Well, that is a big difference. They said that you would only have to give your neighbors notice, but the neighbors then could go to an architectural review board to anonymously voice any dispute they have with that. So it sounds to me like they're trying to prevent neighbors from having to confront each other on these issues, perhaps. I don't know. It doesn't sound to me like it should be confusing for these homeowners associations. Why do you think the city wants to do this, Gene?
I think it's because it's confusing to them. Because let's face it,
it's confusing to the city.
They're the ones that are going to be issuing permits for these buildings or these modifications.
Yeah.
And now they have to work within another government agency, and I don't think they want to do that. It seems like one governing agency doesn't like to work with another one. They all want to be autonomous. They don't want to have to remember, the Santa Anita Oaks Association is going to deal differently than the Arcadia Association. And so, I think the city is saying it's going to be easier for us. Let's get rid of it.
It's kind of a non-issue. I mean, this is how we operate here in Minnesota. We have state building codes, right?
Yes.
We have city permits that have to be purchased when you're going to, and on top of that, we have homeowner association rules and regulations, architectural control. So the city doesn't care if I paint my house green in a block of brown houses, but the homeowners association might. So I don't see why it overlaps.
Oh, and let me put this in a broader context. How about the city of Arcadia? Should the state of California say, you know what, the Arcadia City Council shouldn't have ordinances that are different than Pasadena?
There you go.
And so we're going to have a state statute and ordinance on what you can do in all of your cities.
Yep.
I think they would say, hey, wait a minute, you don't have that authority.
Yep, that's
and
right.
I don't know why.
We want to decide for ourselves.
And I don't know why the city of Arcadia thinks that they have the authority. Here's the upshot. They gave that authority away initially when this development or these developments were built.
The city gave up their authority or some of their authority over this community.
And let's face it, they do that all the time. A city says, hey, you know what? A homeowner association is a good idea because normally in a tract of land this size, we can only get 15 homes, but we can get a more densely population of homes.
Sure.
And so there's a bigger tax base.
Sure. That's right. 40 townhomes will go in an area that would have housed 20 single-family homes. The other thing that cities benefit by is they can make those associations responsible for their own streets and their own sidewalks and their own street lighting.
So then
and their own water whatever systems. So they are saving money that way.
So are we saying that here is a city who's glad to save and foist things on so that they don't have it now in their budget?
Sure.
So they like that, and then they've got a higher tax base.
Sure.
But now they don't like the confusion that there's 5 different associations that they approved. They could have had one association,
I suppose,
but no, they wanted 5. So now to make things easier, not for the confusion of the homeowner or the association, but I think for themselves, they're talking about what they want to do, only to make life easier for themselves.
Now, I do have to say, there is a quote from a person who chairs an architectural review board. Mm-hmm. She said that this change in approval process, where you don't have to get written approval from your neighbors, you just have to notify your neighbors that you're going to do this. Then if your neighbors don't like the idea, they can go to their review board and lodge a protest. Yeah. She said that put undue pressure on homeowners concerned with straining their relationships with their neighbors. So it sounds like some associations like the idea because they don't want neighbors having to, I guess, confront each other on these architectural issues.
But we got at one point in our life here, be adults. And you know what? You're never going to agree with everybody 100% of the time. This idea that we're going to get away from conflict, you can have conflict, but you can do so in a respectful manner.
And it's institutionalizing all the decision-making processes. So now your neighbor, if he doesn't like your idea, can go to his board and anonymously deny it or dispute it. So then it becomes the board who's turning you down. It's very adolescent, I think.
The one thing though that makes me think that there might be a little bit of difference here. It does say that this whole idea was presented jointly by the board members of these 5 HOAs.
And I think for this reason.
So if they want it, then I'm behind it because I believe I guess I believe in that freedom that organization, that association has to decide for themselves if they want to change it.
Yeah.
If the city's doing it without them, I think that's just a scary territory to get involved
I would
with.
not agree with that.
Yeah. Well, folks, hey, that is all the time that we have on today's show. It's been so great to have you with us. We hope you join us next Sunday here on Where You Live. Until then, have a great Sunday, everybody.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I mean, it's like California, don't you know, to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved